Welcome to our show, guys. Guess what? Here's my old buddy, my old sidekick, Robbie Boy.
That me.
And you know, we're going to ask that perennial question. Where are we at today?
Where we at today, Robbie Boy?
Oh, Robbie Boy. Where are we at today, bud?
Library Park.
And why are we down here today?
Because you called me and woke me up.
Yeah, and besides that?
Obviously, there's a show involved.
There is.
And other than that, I just see a lot going on.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to take these people on a little tour of Icelandic days.
Icelandic Fire and Ice Days?
Yeah.
Booyah.
We're going to go now. Okay, guys, we've got the president of the Icelandic Association.
He wants to touch the mic. Don't touch the mic.
Don't touch the mic.
And we're going to have him introduce himself.
My name is Bo Anderson. I'm a longtime resident of Spanish Fork. I'm the active president of the Icelandic Association of Utah. We're a small organization from Spanish Fork, and yeah, pleasure having you here, Goose.
And so...
What about Robbie Boy?
And Robbie too, yeah, Robbie.
Robbie Boy.
I understand you're pretty passionate about Iceland days.
Absolutely. My grandfather was a full-blooded Icelander. He lived up on 800 East and 333 South. It's a white brick house by the Icelandic Monument, and can definitely remember him and being very passionate about his heritage. So yeah, I'm very passionate about Iceland and our connections with our ancestry.
Good on you.
Yeah.
And that's the way we should all be about our own heritage.
Darn
right?
Skippy.
Yes, we are. Hey, I got to visit in Iceland with my mom in 2007, and it was a very interesting country. There's a lot of bilingual people. They're very open and generous. Yeah, just a great place to be, and they welcome you with open arms and give you anything, the shirt off their back if they can.
Oh,
Yeah, those are good.
love it, man. All right, and we're going to go walking here.
We're going to go see what we can see.
See what we
Yeah.
can see and talk to who we can talk to. Guess what, guys? We've got a guy here now we're going to talk to, and he's from Provo. Wow, Provo. How'd we let him in here?
I told him there's still time. There's still hope.
To come over to where the real town is?
From the dark side, yes,
To
sir.
the dark side, yeah.
Except our producer lives in Provo too as well.
I know. Well, our guest here is Richard Williams, and we want him just briefly to mention why Iceland Days, how they got here, and a little bit about the immigrants.
Well, the Icelanders were among the very first settlers of Spanish Fork. Spanish Fork was settled in 1855, and that's when the first Icelandic settlers came, one of whom was my great-great-grandfather.
Okay.
And so after that, for about 30 years, they sent all the Icelandic converts essentially to Spanish Fork. I think the assumption was that they'd get along with all the Danes who were already here.
Oh, like the Hansons?
Yeah, that didn't work out,
Okay.
from what I understand.
I can see that.
Pete over there he's a Dane.
Yeah.
Take a look. There's a Dane right there.
Yeah, so am I, but I do have that Icelandic blood, so I'm sympathetic. But
But
so
I'm just wondering, why didn't they settle in Springville or Salem?
well, I think they knew quality when they saw it.
got
Dang
it.
Skippy.
You
So
got it.
They chose Spanish Fork.
Love it.
I have a question.
All right.
And you can cut this out, Pete, but what's the deal with Iceland people and Danish people? Is it an East Coast, West Coast thing? What's the deal on that?
Well, Denmark owned Iceland for a long time, and that gets tiresome after a few
I knew there was some, thank you for the 411.
That's what it was.
And why did they come to Spanish America in the first place?
Well, it started with conversion to the LDS Church.
Oh.
And eventually they left. Things weren't too good in Iceland. There were a lot of difficulties. For example, you had to own property before you could even marry.
Wow.
And so that made it difficult. Times were hard. And this Spanish Fork is the oldest Icelandic settlement in North America
Booyah.
that lasted.
Nice booyah, Goose.
Booyah.
Vinland didn't last in a 1,000 years ago, but this one has.
All right.
All about SF.
You got it.
Fit City, baby.
Okay. We appreciate you being on our show.
Oh, glad to do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk Finnish.
Guess what?
Look who we found.
Look, we got a real Icelander here. Is it Leifson or Leifson?
It's Leifson.
See? And these guys in
Very
town say
Icelandic.
Leifson.
Oh my gosh, nobody knows how to pronounce it, but it's Leif Erikson.
Yeah.
Leifson.
That's right.
Yeah, so there you go. So,
As opposed to Leif Garrett.
but you know, sometimes, Goose, you know, when my name was in the paper when I was playing sports in high school, they spelled it so many different ways. You know, we just, whatever worked, we took it.
I know. So, what's the city affiliation?
Well, at one time, Spanish Fork had the largest colony of Icelanders in the nation. They all joined the church back in Iceland, immigrated here, and Brigham Young sent them all down to Spanish Fork. And so at one time we had the largest colony of Icelanders in the nation, and so our roots go really deep here. When they got here, I think they liked it because, you know, we get that wind up,
Right.
and it's windy over in Iceland.
And we got the best baseball program.
That's right. You know, I'm sure they were playing baseball back there a few centuries ago, but you know, but the mountains and the wind, and so I think they felt at home here, you know, because that's what it was like in Iceland. And I know because I went there a few years ago, and the wind blows over there too, and it's a beautiful place. I love it.
Can you just kind of fill the viewers in a little bit about the dugouts that they lived in?
We heard they lived in like houses dug into the side of mountains.
They did. You know, when they first come over here, they didn't have any money, and they didn't have anything, and so to find shelter, they went up here on the east end of town, and they made these dugouts.
Like caves, kind of.
And basically, that's what it was. But it was just a cave inside of the side of the hill. They called them dugouts, and they lived there for a long time until they could afford to build something or found some other place to build. But you go in there, those floors were immaculate. Even though they were dirt, they kept them clean, and they were clean people, and it was awesome. So those dugouts, yeah, sometimes they used to call it Gopher Town.
Uh-huh.
So if
Nice.
you dropped your frosted flakes on the dirt floor, you could pick them up and eat them?
There, you darn right.
All
If you
right.
could find frosted flakes
I
back
do.
then, I bet you could eat them.
Okay, we're going to go take a look at dugout here, and we're going to go to our first break.
Nu borta från I fryser jag den blå, kväller gulja låt, kvar I götten må. Iver laxalon I lycker klacka till, lärv frider del, kommer igen. Mara bara bra, brottna skog och ha, unnar steinen ha, vitt och krätta bra. Iver vattjetlon I äver skipskjören, varma gluten sin, aseltin.
Final stroke.
Talk Finnish. Now we're going to go to a couple of interesting people we met the other day
That was interesting.
and listen to what they have to say.
Sounds great.
Robbie boy,
Yes, sir.
where we at right now, bud?
We're at Jones Hughes Heritage Park. I had to practice that. Jones Hughes Heritage Park.
And that's just south of Barry's, right?
I didn't know it was here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, right next door to Barry's.
Kind of hidden treasure here.
And you know what, guys? We got some real Icelanders here today.
Real deal.
Not pretend, real ones. And we're going to have them introduce themselves right now. Right, Andre?
Yeah, my name is Andri and come from Hveragerði, Iceland.
And last name?
Svavarsson.
And your wife?
It's Hannah.
My name is Hanna Karitas Bárðardóttir, and I live with Andri in Hveragerði.
And you have two daughters?
Yes.
What are their names?
Kristbjörg Sunna and Estella Nótt.
All right. And we'll kind of interview them a little later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right now, Travis, we want to slip right over here and take a look at some of the dwelling. All right, Robbie, give a knock on this door and see if they'll accept us. Hey, we're the missionaries.
Well, let's go.
You know what? I think this is one of the reasons they came to America.
Because of the missionaries?
Yeah.
You learn something every day on this show.
All right, we're gonna go in. Holy smoke. Can you believe this, Robbie?
Wow.
So does this look familiar?
It does. It does look a lot similar to the older houses in Iceland.
So I'm just kind of thinking, if a couple had several children, this would be awfully crowded.
Yeah, of course, if you compare it to today's standards, but it's much better to have smaller house that is easier to keep warm and stay dry.
Oh, and so the main reasons that they left the island are what?
I think it's because of the religion, a part of it, and also the situations in Iceland. It was people were poor, and the condition to farm the land or stay there was difficult.
All right, so they came to America, what, searching for a better life?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, that sounds like today, doesn't it, Robbie?
Definitely.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed. I am. I'm really thankful and grateful for what I have right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We're going to move over to the next version,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just a step up from the dugout.
From the ground and up.
Gotcha. I
It's
like it.
above ground.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go. Boy, this is a step up, Andre, Hanna.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
lot.
What do you think? Oh, wow.
I think people were shorter these days.
The people were
okay.
shorter then.
Yeah.
Wow. I scuffed up my head good. Travis, why don't you tell me? Wow. So, we were just thinking, Travis and I, that how do you guys feel when you come here and see all the Iceland flags a-waving?
It feels welcoming.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. It was. I was surprised when I came here first, but I really like that people keep their heritage alive. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Yeah. You feel the same way?
Yeah, definitely. I was here 20 years ago, so it wasn't as surprising to me. But then it was, 20 years ago. But I think it's really nice how, people here keep their heritage and are proud of where they came from.
Well, that's the way it should be. So you were a foreign exchange student
Yes,
with
I
Terry
was.
and Lil Shepherd.
Yes, I was.
How many years?
I was here for 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
Is that your senior year?
Yes.
And did the other students accept you?
Yes, they did.
All right. They didn't think of you as a foreigner.
Yeah, they probably did also.
All right.
I would think the accent gives it away.
All right.
Yeah.
But they did treat you well.
Yeah. They
Beautiful.
treat me very
What we
well.
like to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. So this bird in the back, isn't this an auk?
This one is called puffin,
Oh, the puffin.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right,
heard
the
that.
puffin.
and it's called lundi,
All right.
the Icelandic name of the puffin.
Now, are they protected in Iceland?
Yes, no.
Yes, no.
Now,
yeah, now they are.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So if you get caught shooting a puffin,
You don't shoot the puffin. You get them in the net.
oh, you net them.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they are mostly on the south coast in around the Vestmannaeyjar area, and also in the Westfjords.
All right.
Why were they capturing them? Was it
It's for food?
could you eat
Because they taste good.
it? Did they?
Oh,
That's what I was
tastes
wondering.
good. Better than fish?
Yummy.
It's different. I mean, if you eat fish every day,
Oh.
you want to have
Oh,
something
oh,
else.
I love fish, but every day, every
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah.
The only thing he eats every day is ketchup.
Oh, I love
He loves
ketchup.
ketchup.
Really?
Oh,
You have
yeah.
ketchup in Iceland?
Yeah, we
Yes.
do.
Okay, see.
So
they
it's
got
safe for you
ketchup.
you could go there.
Yeah. So, but like you said yesterday, no snakes in Iceland.
No.
Oh,
Is it because it's too cold?
Yeah, I think so.
oh, my wife and niece and all that would. Oh, they'd love that because they can't stand snakes,
I don't do snakes well. I don't.
especially if they got fangs and venom. We've talked to the adults, the two parents. Now we want to talk to the two gals who are both teenagers and get their idea about Iceland. So my first question is, what do teenagers in Iceland do for fun?
Probably the same as everybody else in every other country. Just hanging out with friends and
Do you watch movies, American movies?
yeah, all the time.
And what do you think of American movies and American music?
I think they're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't introduced. Will you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah. My name's Estela.
And your sister?
Her name's Krisberg.
All right. And she looks a little nervous, but that's okay. So, what's life in Iceland like for you as a teenager? You're younger than your sister, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you like? What's some of your hobbies?
Hang out with my friends and watch movies.
Hang out with friends, watch movies,
And sometimes play guitar.
and sometimes play guitar.
So it's just like here.
That's just like here. Yeah, you play guitar.
No, I'm talking about my kids like to hang out all the time.
Yeah. Oh, do they have cell phones in Iceland?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh, yes, of course. Come on, Goose.
Duh.
This ain't the Pioneer
Goose,
Day.
there's something behind you.
Oh, yeah. And what do we have here? Is this an Icelandic horse?
Yes, it is.
And can you just give us quickly a little history?
She's better at that than I am.
Oh, Andre, quickly.
Quickly, I think the most amazing thing is we only have one breed in Iceland, which is this Icelandic
This
horse.
breed?
Yeah. So if we are competing in a horse competition out of Iceland, we cannot bring the horses back. So we have to sell them. So we cannot bring any animals from out of other countries, at least the horses, back to Iceland.
Oh, because, why? Because they're contaminated?
Because, yeah.
Oh, didn't know that.
American cooties.
Okay, yeah, really. I'm going to use this Icelandic word for
Thank you.
thank you. It's talk
Takk
finish.
Yeah.
Top finish.
All right.
Top finish.
We'd like to thank our guests.
Tack för det.
Tack för det.
Takk fyrir.
Tack för det.
Top finish.
All right. All right, guys, we're here with the two people that are responsible for this little park, if you want to call it that. And you're who?
Elaine Jones Hughes.
All right, and
J.P. Hughes.
J.P. Hughes. Your dad was the doctor.
Yeah, right.
That's
And
right.
we're at the Jones Hughes Heritage Park Foundation.
So what prompted you guys to create this?
We looked for a project for our children to learn. And this is my grandmother's home, so my father was born here. And my aunts decided to sell the house, and we thought this would be a wonderful project to remember their heritage and to learn how to use a shovel and learn how to dig, how to paint, how to do everything. So we started working on the house that had been rented for 8 years and was in disrepair. They did a wonderful job, those children did. We have 6 children. And it turned out so nice, and my grandfather was a Utah senator, so we liked the architecture, made it qualify for the historical, the history part. So it is the only home in Spanish Fork that is in the National and State Historical Register.
Beautiful. So the male perspective, I'm just thinking, you wanted to teach your kids how to work?
Right.
Is there any payoff on that?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, why would you pay them? You have to work.
The work is what they learn,
Oh.
and they love it here.
No, they love it here. They really do.
Now our grandchildren do.
Yeah.
Because I had kids in school, if I asked them to sweep the gym floor,
Yeah.
they'd always say, what's in it for me?
Yeah. That's
And
right.
then I'd go, well, I'll go ahead and sweep it myself then if I've got to pay you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So,
Yeah. They've been a big part of helping this. It's been great.
so to a citizen in town, if they want to come down and see what's going on here, When is it open?
The biggest day of our year is Pioneer Day, or Fiesta Days. We're open on the 24th of July from after the parade until 5 o'clock. And we have the beautiful quilt show that surrounds the house. And then all of the Pioneer, we have a blacksmith, we have spinning and weaving, we have lace making. It's our biggest day. Other than that, for now, it's on a private basis.
Private basis.
We have private families come. They just need to notify us, and we're working on getting, now we are a foundation, we can have a caretaker and have it open certain days of the week.
Excellent.
That's our plan.
Okay, appreciate you guys. Now we have to go to another break. Yeah, Robbie.
Yes, sir?
You think you're pretty stout.
Well, I do have my green wristband.
But the key word is think. Are you really that stout?
We have Photoshop.
Do you think you can pick up that hammer?
What, Thor's hammer?
Yeah.
De nada.
Let's see.
Big Bad John.
Oh, my.
All right, guys, we're here at our next booth, and we have who here?
Aaron Richardson. So I run Ragnar Forge. I'm a blacksmith. My shop is up in Eden, near Ogden, and the shop I run is actually an original blacksmith shop. It was built there in 1895 by a guy named Jesse Wilbur. And the shop was run there by him and his son until 1970, and it's actually still got all of the original tools and artifacts that he used in his trade. So I've run that shop for about 3 years, and my shop's name is Ragnar Forge. So I really love Viking history and Viking stuff. So when I found out about the Icelandic Days a couple years ago and that there was a big event for this, it was something I just had to be at. And so I'm here. I make all sorts of things out of iron and steel, from door handles and hinges to latches and bolts to knives and tomahawks to roses and necklaces. You know, I'm not a farrier, so I don't make horseshoes, but just about anything else you might want, I can probably fabricate for you.
Shield wall!
Shield! All right, we're at our next booth, and this is Joan.
Bulls.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Hey, Joan.
Nice to meet you.
And as we can see, we're going to do the Vanna White, open it up here to your display.
Okay, we've got some pillows and some washcloths and some dish towels and some bath bombs and aprons, just things with Icelandic flags on them.
What caught my eye was this one.
Oh, it's a dog bandana, yeah. That's so that you can remember what dog is in Icelandic. You can have it around his
is
neck.
that what
it's
that
a little
is?
bandana,
Oh.
yeah. Yep.
And are you affiliated with Face Painter?
I am. He is my son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
I know. I got him into this.
How did he do on Rob and I?
He did so great. You guys look fabulous. I like your puffin and I like your flag.
Okay, we got a special guest here. This is my son's mother-in-law.
Oh.
Can't beat that. Susan Barber. And she was mentioning that you've got to try the what down here?
They're claners.
Claners?
Yes, they're like pancakes, and they are wonderful. They put whipped cream and strawberries or caramel, and you just fold them up and eat them like a crepe. But you just haven't lived if you haven't tried them.
And how do you spell that?
You spell it Icelandically. I think you spell it with a K.
K, okay. And then you was mentioning earlier, you're not really Icelandic unless?
Unless you can eat pickled fish.
Pickled
It sounds awful, but the Icelanders get together in February and have it catered with special custom Icelandic foods. And some of them are just really gross sounding, but they are good. There's deviled shrimp and there's goat things.
Goat thing.
What's wrong, I think, is to mention this beautiful pancake with syrup and
Yes, and then
whipped
they
cream, and then you
mentioned-
mentioned pickled dead fish.
Pickled dead
You just
fish.
kind of killed my moment, I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, it just depends on what your preference is.
Golden dog, here, here, here. Golden dog, here, here, here.
Ross, we got a problem.
You got a problem?
It hasn't happened in a while, but we've lost the goose.
No way. We're running out of time here, Rob. We don't have time for this kind
I'm
of
sorry,
messing
sir.
around.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm the producer. I need to keep this show on time.
I looked over there. Maybe, I don't know, where you want to go next?
Goose. Well, we haven't been this direction. Maybe we should go that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't see him.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know. I have a red visual.
Uh-oh. One red goose coming up.
Goose, we've been looking for you everywhere.
Hey, man.
What are you doing over here?
We're in Spanish.
I've told you over and over and over again, don't lose Travis. When you go away, you lose Travis.
Well, we're in Spanish Fork, so I thought I'd come down where the horses are.
Well, I should have guessed that, of course.
Because they feed corn to the horses in the barn.
And he's my friend.
Great. Well, this has been a very exciting show, hasn't it, guys?
It's been fun.
And are we ready to close it?
Yeah, I think we were about
All
there.
right.
Yeah, we're over time. I mean, geez.
Travis, you know what we always do. Oh, the weather out here today is fabulous.
Absolutely beautiful.
And we'd like to thank all our guests.
There were quite a few.
Quite a few.
Been a fun day.
I can't name them all.
Been a real fun day.
Yeah.
And so, until our next show, remember, we love you, we truly do, and we are out of here.
Right on.
Let's stop for a minute. I got some shopping I need to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me, do you have any Tupperware that I could store my puffin in?
Your puffin? How big is your puffin?
Right there.
Oh, that should fit right in that.
Or also, we have some pickled
Pickled herring.
Pickled shrimp.
Herring. Oh, definitely in this one.
Wow.
I can't move.